So this is why marriage is a toxic concept. I've seen a lot where people are getting peer pressured into dating and getting married. And nowadays, we're actually moving to the generation where a lot of people are now starting to be a little bit more of a free thinker. In my personal opinion, I'm surprised that nobody up to this point has ever questioned this idea. I think it's massively beneficial if you're a girl, but I questioned it specifically for a guy. I don't see the reasoning. If you're a high value guy, which a lot of people that watch my channel are, a lot of you guys are hustlers and killers, I don't see a reason why you specifically would ever get married. Now, I know the arguments, I've heard them. It makes more stability for a kid. I've also seen a lot of instability in marriages for kids, where the couples are constantly fighting. Like that, I don't see the stability in that relationship. To me, it just seems like you're like, well, this is the way that our ancestors did it, that my father and their great grandfather did it. So if we switch it up, is it going to make things toxic? Well, it doesn't seem like things are working now, in my personal opinion. Now, I've been thinking about this in terms of biology. Now, if you're in a tribe, a small tribe of 25 to 50, and you are going to be dead at 30, it makes a little more sense. I mean, you're probably going to have like maybe one, like maybe a few sexual partners because you don't have that many options. And number two, you don't have that much time to live. So it makes sense. But now we're living up to 75 to 100 years of age, and you're supposed to decide that you're going to date this person you're with the entire life, and you're going to do this, you're going to put a ring on it so that you're forcing them to stick around. Now, if somebody's value is constantly changing, then, or like, let's say that you start changing, you become all these myriad of different people. You're like next, I'm not going to be the same person I am that's talking to you on this camera. I'll be a completely different person. Like I will be. And now, if I'm going to date somebody, I have to come to the mindset that they're also going to be somebody different. They're going to change. They're going to change throughout their entire life. Now, this person I change into and the person they change into also has to get along. That doesn't make any sense to me. To me, I think relationships should be more fluid. I don't like if I don't get along with you or something doesn't align with what I want and what makes me happy, as the person that I'm talking to should be happy about it too. I mean, not obviously happy about it. I mean, breakups are always hard and they always hurt. Not always, but the majority of the portion they do. Then for coming from that mind space, when I want them to be like go off and do what's best for them. Number two, somehow marriage creates stability or like forces you to have to like step up to the plate and like not leave your partner. Again, that's like, if my partner wanted to leave, yes, let them leave. Want what's best for them because you care about them. I don't get that. It sounds like a codependent relationship. I don't know how like society keeps rationalizing. Now, there's this thing you guys can look up. It's actually, I think it's called R selection. It shows how species, men and women, how as they get more options for sexual partners, how their value goes up or down and how it changes. And for men, as they get more partners, it goes up and linear. For girls, it goes like this. And that's actually why, in my personal opinion, for a girl, marriage is actually beneficial. If you're a girl, get married. If you're a guy that's winning, don't do that. Don't do that. That just doesn't make any sense. Like, all right, so the reason for bonding for bonding in humans is that your brain is doing this risk value assessment constantly. It's constantly pinging the world and environments around you to sense out this value risk assessment. Now, if you're winning and you have so many options in girls, your brain's going to be like, why tie down any girl? I'm going to stay single. Now, the same way, if you're losing, your brain's going to go into provider mode. It's going to be like, well, we need somebody because we don't have that many options. And so we're just going to pump a bunch of babies into this one girl, and that's going to be our sexual strategy. Now, the way that humans work is that we have a very fluid and changeable, variable sexual strategy. But the problem is that because the way society works, like we have to bureaucracize everything because you have to play for all the variables. But the people at the far ends of the spectrum, the top 1%, the strategies for the masses don't always work for those people. If you're a top type 1% type guy, maybe this isn't your marriage strategy. Maybe this isn't your thing. Like, and if that's the case, then what is your thing? Why don't you design one for yourself specifically for what you want? Why do you have to follow the society standard because it's just the way that everybody else has done it? Why do you have to do it the same way? Why can't you make your own thing? Now, in terms of dating, to even marry somebody, you have to turn them into a two-dimensional structure of who they actually are. There's a vastness to humans that, if you were to understand your partner, I would guarantee that most people in marriages would break up with their partner if they understood the complexities of the person they're dating. Like every little thing they ever did. Like there's a lot of micro big and small little infractions on what you guys designed as a relationship, and I'm gonna guarantee you that your partner at some point has crossed the line for what you thought would be okay. And not to mention, like, she's had thoughts that probably if you knew about those thoughts or those little hidden desires, there's no way you would ever date the person because you're too insecure. There's no way. So you have to make your partner a two-dimensional version. You're gonna date a two-dimensional person your entire life, this cookie cutter version, and then you also have to be this cookie cutter two-dimensional person to your partner. And she'll never 100% understand you. So what does it make sense to date this person like that? She'll never understand you on a full complex level. So like you're gonna now consign her and tell her, you do not leave me. We're never gonna get divorced. We're gonna until death do us part. That just sounds, again, like a codependent relationship. It sounds like a toxic relationship. And it's why I get back at it again. Marriage sounds like a toxic idea and a toxic concept. Anyways, that seems like all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get into double standards and why I think they should be a thing, not even playing. But this is already kind of a good idea on its own. I think that would stray far too wide of the actual point I'm trying to make. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I could change my mind at some point. I'm totally open-minded to it. But it seems like with the data I'm given, I've not seen proper relationship unless somebody's forced into it or unless they don't have options. But if you're a guy with options, you have so many like different girls trying to chase you down, marriage seems like a terrible idea. If you're somebody that's constantly gaining in value, why would you get married? You're consigning yourself to a situation in a moment where like now you need stability in a relationship. You don't need stability. Stability is what makes a lot of men weak. It's why a lot of guys get so mush-brained when they get older. It's why they become cow people. It's why their brains start slowing down because they stop putting themselves under pressure. So you're gonna get married, lose the pressure, and now you're gonna become mentally weak. And you're gonna stop being so intelligent. I like that intelligence. I like being smart. I like being sharp and witty. I don't wanna be weak. So it seems like marriage and me, and hopefully you, come at a bit of a dissonance. They don't align perfectly. It seems like the puzzle pieces aren't, the stars aren't aligned in this situation. It's what you want and what marriage is not what you are. It's not what you want. For a man specifically, like I didn't even get into the sociological reasoning for not getting married. There's so many reasons like losing your money, losing your kids to divorce, the trauma of going through a divorce, instead of just being able to like just cut things loose when it gets bad. Like why do you have to go through all this like dragging through the fucking trenches or through the mud? Just like why not like being able to cut it off simply and not cause any more trauma than is necessary? That's my opinion though. I could be wrong. That being said, peace.
Too many fake people in the world, would you hold me down, would you hold me back? If I fell off track, would you put me in check? Or you only stick around for the check? Would you tell me yes when the answer's no? I just need to know, would you help me grow? Would you help to slow the process? That's why I become so cautious. Too many yes men, not enough real friends. Say what you wanna hear, not what you need. Leave for the journey, but come right back when the nigga succeeds.